You're standing in that tunnel, right? You hear the fans, you hear a band, you hear this thumping, and it just shakes your body, and I got goosebumps. It's just like, let's go play ball. You go out in that tunnel, man, you feel like a god.
Lob to the corner, fullback Witman, touchdown. Here's the give to Witman, he's in for the touchdown.
Football was everything to me then. I was devoted to that sport. I busted my rear end because I just knew I had to. I used sports to kind of get away from the home life because it wasn't great. High school, college, first 2-3 years of NFL, I wouldn't do none of that. I went and take an aspirin. Those 7 years playing with the Steelers, I kept getting more and more injuries, and I had to stay on the field game day. It started out where I was given Vicodins, things like that. And then I started getting shot up before games with painkiller stuff. All of a sudden, before I know it, I'm an addict. You become physically dependent. I just don't know how it took me like that, It's just, I go back, I can't, it just took control of my whole being. Took Jon Witman away from my family, and it destroyed everything. And it's just like a nightmare. I knew how to take enough where I'd feel fine with the euphoric feel, when I'm around people, but then when I got home, I just was gobbling them up, and when you do that, you just don't want to do anything, and I took myself away from the kids. They started doing their sports, I started not going, and come up with excuses for this and that. Didn't really want nothing to do with my wife. I kind of stayed to myself, and that's when she's like, I know there's something wrong with you. You need to do something. I wouldn't acknowledge it. I was just saying it's not true. I just deny. And then called the NFL for help. When I came home from rehab, I'm clean. Within a week, I'm back on them. And then I go to another place, come back. Okay, I'm good for 6 months. I do it again. And for 15 years, I was a horrible human being. And I still struggle a lot with that. And I know I lost a family because of it. Just a lot of bad things were happening, and and when my youngest kid saw me with a gun in my head, I didn't want to be here no more. But somehow, some way, like a gentleman named Bob, I knew him as my boys' lacrosse coach. That's all I knew him as. He asked me if I would go to church with him, and I'm like, man, I don't want nothing to do with God. I just didn't want nothing to do with it, and he was persistent, and he followed up with me all the time for 10 years. And I wouldn't go, or I'd say I'd go, and he'd come to my house, and he'd sit there and wait for me. I wouldn't come out for 10 years. And then just one day, a couple years ago, he's like, John, I'm going to a Christmas Eve gathering at LCBC. You want to come with me? I'm just like, okay, I'll go. And then I go in there. I didn't really want to go in. We go in, and of course, where do we go? We got to go to the very front and sit. That's where he sits, and I hated it. But then when that music come on, I don't know what it was, man, but then I just was like, I need help. I need help to get through all this. I don't know if the feel being there the first time was just, I'll tell you right now, it is a better experience than coming out of any tunnel of a football game. That was the beginning of me getting in a relationship with God, and it took a lot, because even since then there were some bad things that happened, why do you keep doing this? Why do you keep making me pay for this? I just kept going. I believed in God through my mind. I didn't give my heart to him. My neighbor right here, 85 years old, Paul, I'm out cleaning my chickens. He's driving past in a little scooter. He stops. Out of the blue, he's like, are you in a relationship with God? Do you believe in God? Have you been saved? I knew I didn't have him in my heart all the way. And he's like, do you want to be saved? And I was like, yeah, man, geez, I need help. I need him in my life, but how do I go about it? Am I worth even being in a relationship with him? Because I'm still ashamed of my past. He prayed for me there on the spot, and I felt this huge 10,000-pound boulder come off my shoulders. It was an unbelievable night, August 31st, last year. And I know in my heart now he's there. That's what makes me want to get up every day. I have chills and happiness when I think about it. You know, this is real with me now. I wish I could have got to know him earlier in my life, and I thought I didn't need that. Everything was just fine, you know what I mean? I'm an athlete, I'm making money. And that stuff's all just, man, none of that's really important to me now. There's gonna be some hard times, but I have the Lord in my heart now, and I know I'll get through it with him. It's as simple as that. My name's Jon Witman, and my life has been super changed by Jesus Christ. And I'm a newborn Christian, and I have goosebumps talking about it.